take me back to the start. Like, when did you realize, okay, cool, this online money space
Yeah.
is what I want to be in, what I want to be doing?
It started in COVID actually. So back in high school when I was in Malaysia, I was 16 years old. COVID happened, and so basically everything that I was doing just got put on pause. And I was basically the star athlete in high school. I got good grades. I was like, school was everything for me, and so that was what I really enjoyed and what I excelled in. And then, just like that, it was just taken away. And so I had to kind of pivot my attention and, all my effort that I put towards school, basketball, and everything into something else because that's just the person I am. And so at first it was just, doing degenerate stuff, like drinking, not doing the right thing, smoking, all this type of stuff. And it got so bad to the point where I finished like playing games. I think it was GTA or Fortnite or some game like that. I finished playing that game for like 12 hours in a day. And I wrapped up. I hopped off the call with my friends, and I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, "Is this what I really wanted to do?" At 16 years old. And the next day, I told my guys I just wasn't hopping on the game. I started searching up how to make money online, and that's when I came across my first ever side hustle, which was Instagram theme pages. So I started that, and that was kind of my first sense. And I worked like 12 hours a day. When I want to do something, when I want to accomplish something, I just, spend all my time and energy towards it. And so that was like my first ever venture that I started. I was able to make like, 3 to 5K a month, which was not bad for a 16, 17-year-old. But it took me like, I think like a solid year to see my first sale come through. But I think that built the persistence that I needed to have in order to kind of build the business that I have today and everything. And so, yeah, I started during the COVID days, basically.
And what were those early days like for you? Because you were in school,
Yeah.
and we'll go into what school was like in general,
Mhm.
but, you know, building this business, I'm assuming there will be people asking questions.
Yeah.
I'm assuming not everyone understands why you stopped playing Fortnite with the boys and you're on to this IG
Yeah.
hustle. So what was that first year of experience like for you?
Oh, it was hard because I grew up in Malaysia, so I didn't even grow up in like the U.S. where it was common to kind of try these things. Like trying to start a business in a place like Malaysia was just not very common, especially at a young age. Like I did this at 16, and so everyone looked at me like I was crazy. Everyone looked at me like I was just not doing what I was supposed to do. My parents put me in a great school. They provided great education, and I was meant to go down the route of just, getting good grades, getting in a, top school, and then just getting my degree and getting a job like, like everyone else is. But I I kind of just took a completely different approach. And when I got in the space, like a lot of people just asked me like, "What are you doing?" And for a long time, I wasn't making any money, right? It took me like a year, but I had this like delusion inside me that just got me to keep on going. I don't know what it was. I can't even explain it. Because if I looked at why I started and what made me keep on going, I don't think I can explain it. I just kept on doing it because I think I genuinely just enjoyed the process. I didn't even care if I had the money. I just enjoyed doing this thing where I was building a business and I was helping people and all that stuff. But when the money came in, obviously that changed everything. But growing up in Malaysia doing this and not making money at the start, I didn't even tell my parents. But my friends all knew, and they like I was just laughed at nonstop because it was just so out of the ordinary. It was just so different from what everyone else is doing, and I was the only one. But yeah, it was hard for the first year for sure.
Again, we'll go into a lot of what you said there, but you
Yeah,
said a word that I think, at some point I wanted to bring up
yeah,
regardless, but you mentioned delusion,
mm-hmm.
right? I named this podcast Delusion by Design,
Mm-hmm.
speaking to entrepreneurs, creatives, people who essentially chose to live life against conventional wisdom,
Yeah.
right? Against the grain. So, I guess double-sided question.
Mm-hmm.
What does delusion mean to you? And how has your relationship with it changed?
Yeah, I'll answer the first one. I think delusion just means that the belief that you can achieve something no matter how unrealistic it is. And you're going against everyone's thinking, you're going against all the odds, you're going against all the statistics and everything. I think that's what delusion is. When you have that kind of unwavering belief that you will achieve this outcome no matter what happens. And I think my relationship with delusion has grown. Like every time I'm delusional, I end up achieving it. Like if you told me 3 years ago when I first started that I'd be 19 and, this month we're gonna do 70K cash. Like 70K a month at 19, like what are the odds? What are the statistics for that to even happen? Especially growing up in Malaysia. So I've never looked at statistics. I've never looked at what's reasonable, what's conventional, what I'm supposed to do. I just do whatever I want, and somehow it's just always worked out. And I think it's just because like I don't like to put myself in a box where it's like you're only told to do this thing. I've always liked to kind of test outside the box and try to just push the barriers and push my boundaries and see what I can achieve. And I think like as I've achieved more, I just believe that I can achieve like way, way, way bigger things. And so I look at delusion as this amazing thing that not a lot of people have, but if you have it and if you develop it over time, I think it's generally one of the best traits you can possibly have, especially as like a business owner, entrepreneur.